There we go. Let's see if audio is working. If you're curious, just having my headphones on for now to see if the audio levels are fine. Well, not that I can change anything about it. So let's see if I can show all live messages. I hope it works. No, I don't want any filter. And what do we have here? Nope. Okay, fine. That should do it. Okay, there's definitely a big delay, at least from what I'm seeing, or what I'm talking and recording and seeing a PC. Let's take them out for now. Curious to see who joins in, or if anybody's gonna join in. Jeff, how you doing, buddy? Great to see you. You smoking a bowl? Or just watching for the pleasure? Yeah, the beginning of the week. I hope you had a great day at work. Smoking some Red Trace Old Gowrie in the Alpha Freehand. Wow, that's harsh. What do you work as? Sorry if I don't want to talk about your work or anything like that. Just kind of curious. Wow. Since Wednesday. Okay. Yeah. It's already late. I could have guessed it. I think it's time for a drink. Pouring me some Johnny Walker Black Label. Louise! How are you, my friend? Glad to hear it. Doing pretty good, I have to say. It's just that the weather is garbage. And I can't sit outside. Yeah, can guess so. If you're curious why I'm looking there and not here, I have my own chat replay on the PC monitor right in front of me, so it makes reading comments that have passed by a little bit easier. But now that you mention it, Jeff, I have to think about what I'm gonna cook. But fish is a good idea. Gonna keep it simple. Some rice and a nice fish. Yeah. Oh, 8 degrees Fahrenheit. And I thought we have it bad. Well, the temperature wise it's not so bad, with around 10 degrees Celsius, which is plus 32. I'm too lazy to do the conversion by myself. Yeah, around 50s Fahrenheit. But the wind is extremely strong. But on the other hand, that's the norm here. There's rarely a day where there's no wind. Ooh, aces! How are you, my friend? Let's do the old matches. How are you, buddy? Have to pass the pipe cleaner through. Starts the gurgle. -2. Oh my gosh. Man, that old gar is way too good. Sadly, I'm pretty much out of it. And the local tobacconist is kind of lazy when it comes to restocking, at least for pipe tobacco. Hey Dan, how are you all doing? Time to load a bowl, just don't know what I want to smoke yet. Earlier on Arrow. let's go with a burley, I would say. I don't think I've ever smoked a burley. I don't, or at least I can't remember one. Baiju for George. Nice. I've got Jeff gotten 3 heaters on going right now in the smoking lounge. The sun is going down, so, and there goes going down, so I have to go inside. 3 heaters. That's a lot. Edward G from HU. Never heard of this blend. So let's see. That's a good thing, sitting right in front of the PC. I can just look everything up. Burley, Kentucky, Perique, and Virginia. Nice. Broken flake. I kind of start to enjoy flakes and broken flakes more often now. Especially with Onion's method of fold stuff, twist, and smoke. Smoking it that way makes it really enjoyable for me. I didn't really care about flakes all that much before. So, a new adventure. Taking a sip. Cheers guys, if any of you is drinking. Damn, that's good. Going back on a topic from Jeff with the 3 heaters. Luckily I can just smoke indoors here in my room. I don't have to worry. As long as I don't keep the window open for too long. Otherwise it gets pretty damn cold down here as well. Hey Addison. Glad you joined my first live stream. Okay, I think that's the case with most people that can smoke indoors, that they are only allowed to smoke aromatics. I've just taken the leisure to smoke English blends as well indoors, since I ventilate it and the smoke doesn't stay very long, so it's fine. And normally no one else comes down in this room. It's basically just my working room, office, and, well, smoking room. The only thing I don't smoke inside here are cigars. The stench you get from the cold smoke, that's way too much. But everything else is game. Does a smoke kill or am I wrong? Depends on the opinion you want to ask. Most of the YTPC members will say, I don't care. Hector! Glad you managed to join in. And again with the angry smiley. Doing pretty damn good, actually. Just puffing all our worries away. Consider myself in the bottom 10%, Jeff. Okay. If you're bottom 10%, bottom 1% for me. At least I'm part of 1% in one direction. The Addison is enjoying some HHO Dark Fired. Sounds good. That's one of those plans I definitely gonna pick up once I'm back in Vienna. I've only heard good things about it, so then I found my compromise. Got this butternut burley in a Sassini before that. Yep. Thanks, Hector. Got this butternut burley. You think so, Hector? I think all the mice ran away when I cut it off. I actually had a similar beard to Jeff, lengthwise, just not the thickness. And it looked hideous on me. Even though I wish I could grow a thick beard like Jeff, John, the bearded Welshman, and many others great YTPC members. Still smoking some Red Race Old Gowrie. The last remains I had of it, sadly, in the Alpha Freehand, which I won from Sean Panzer in his last GAW, sent to me by our dear friend AustrianPiper. What about you, Hector? You smoking anything, or if you have already said it, I'm sorry that I missed it. Yeah. the red trace English blends in general, they're all pretty damn good. And I might have to hit up on our local brick and mortar to get me more of that stuff. Stoke a Navy Flake. Nice. Thank you, Yadison. The only problem I have right now, that it goes out way too much for what I'm used to. The problem with the local B&M is they're lazy to restock, at least for all the better blends. Don't know if I should call them better blends, since they restock Amphora Full and all the other blends pretty frequently as soon as there's one gone. But for other blends like the Red Trace English, they don't do so well. Which is kinda sad. But maybe if I talk nicely to them, they will order some for me. Yeah, it's a really nice volcano. The second I own, I have another volcano as well, which is Lord, which has a meerschaum liner in it. The Lord is usually my throw around pipe when I'm outside working or just walking around. Only for one red trace, I don't care for everything else. Everything else has been very good. Yeah, there was one red tray I tried, which was the Red Trace Westminster Abbey, or just Westminster, can't remember. It was one of the first blends I've tried out. It's an aromatic. I don't know exactly what sort of aromatic. Yeah, Westminster Abbey. That's something, a red trace pipe. At least the ones I've seen, they all look really nice. Especially the meerschaums, which I don't know who it was. Was it T or Nelly? I think it was Nelly. That got a really nice, beautiful red trace meerschaum with a nice blue stem. I never tried a red trace I didn't like. That said, I've only tried those I more or less knew I would like. Yep. Yeah, the red trace aromatics I'm not so fond of. I've picked up some red trace Buckingham, just for good old sake, since it was one of the first blends I've tried and I liked it back then, but I had it better in my memories than it actually is. So yeah, listen, you said you're back in Vienna. Yeah, I actually live pretty much on the border to the Czech Republic, so one of the northern points from Lower Austria. And driving to Vienna are around 60 kilometers, so 1.5 hours probably. Or yeah, 1 to 1.5 hours depending on the traffic. No worry, Louis, take your time. And even in Vienna, there aren't that many shops that actually sell pipe tobacco, any decent pipe tobacco, at least for me, for my tastes. They only sell the basic Balkan riffs and so on. I think I have the best tobacco store I've visited, at least until now, is the tobacco store on the Westbahnhof train station Trafik. That's how we call them here in Austria. Most tobacco stores are Trafik, so lottery, mostly cigarette tobacco. If they are good, they have some cigarillos, or most of the time they have cigarillos, some basic cigars and basic pipe tobacco. But like I said, most of the time nothing extraordinary. Hector, I don't know. I would have to look it up, and I don't want to do it right now. But it might be possible. But I also think it was directly from Red Trace. I thought about picking up the 7 Reserve as well. They had one in stock at the B&M, but I kind of hesitated since I saw the Buckingham, and like I said, for good old times. If you're in the right parts of Vienna, but I think that goes for every city, as every major city. There are some bad districts as well. But history-wise, you can learn a lot. If you're ever in Austria, hit me up. I'll give you a little tour. Jeff, if I could, I would send you a piece of Sachertorte. But I don't think it will go through customs and arrive in a way that you could eat it. Yeah, for the most part, I enjoy it as well. There are just a few black sheeps in the herd, I should say. But like I said, that's the case with most major cities, so... But I still like it. And there's no problem with smoking in parks. Last time I went, it was, I think, November. Yeah, in quite a few pubs you can smoke as well. There's a regulation. I said parks, sorry. But like I said, you can smoke in pubs as well. There's a regulation if the establishment is above a certain size. They have to either be a non-smoker area and a smoker area, or if they're smaller pubs, they can just decide if they're going to be a smoking pub or a non-smoker pub. So it's up to them. I started out as a pastry chef. Jeff, now you're getting me hungry. Yeah, I kind of enjoy the smaller pubs, especially the ones that are a little bit darker and more of the old school ambiente. Wow, band in every pub, bar or disco. Well, in discos it's officially banned, but if there are a few smokers inside that don't follow the rules, they usually don't care. But more and more bars, cafes, etc. are converting to non-smoker only. Of course, there's the exception for clubs. At least as far as I know. So clubs can smoke indoors as well. But like I said, big establishments, they have a designated smokers area where one can enjoy, if you can call it, cigarettes or a nice bowl. It's a little bit different with cigars. Many smokers areas don't allow cigars, that's the only problem. Yeah, as long as no one complains. Yeah, it's the same here. But like I said, there are still a few pubs that allow it. It's not normal how often I have to relight this pipe. Same here in California, and many outdoor restrictions as well. Luckily we don't have any outdoor restrictions. The only thing that can happen is that if you smoke in front of a shop, they might ask you to please step aside or go somewhere else. But usually they don't care, not at all. It was nice a few years back where you could smoke pretty much everywhere. But did you say there are some parks where you can't smoke? Yes and no. They dislike it, for example, if you smoke in school parks or parks that are really close to a school building. But otherwise, everything is allowed, smoking wise. And I can understand it if they dislike it when you smoke close to a school. But I doubt any of the kids gonna pick up a pipe anytime soon. Since it's pretty rare to actually see a pipe smoker. There was only one time and it was in November, when I was walking down in Vienna, the shopping mall Maria Hilf, and was walking down, came from a job interview, went shopping with my girlfriend, smoked a pipe, a nice aromatic pipe, so no one cared really, just got a few looks, so what the hell smells so good? And just saw this dude with a big hat, a nice beard, pretty good dressed, so shirt, trousers, nice pair of shoes with a nice jacket on, hanging down a freehand pipe, a pretty big freehand pipe, so he had some serious jaw muscles. Smoking a pipe, and We passed each other, just looked at each other, gave the nod, and went our own ways. Yeah, there's no parks, beaches, and within 20 feet of most businesses. I hope it doesn't get so far here in Austria. That would be pretty bad. I hope it will be a hype. Would love to see more pipe smokers out and about. Yeah, got compliments. That's always a good thing. In Iowa you have to smoke in your vehicle in the rest areas on the highway. I was on my motorcycle and lit up a cigar. The rest area said I'm in my vehicle. There's a funny story with that. I usually don't really smoke in my car, but at one time there was a time when I actually did smoke a pipe inside my car and went down the street, and it was outside of the city, and they have a spot where they usually stand. Pulled me over. Didn't really go so fast, but they were wondering what I'm smoking. Could have been something else that I'm smoking in my pipe. Pulled me over, and they gave me the typical "what is going on" look. And the good thing is my uncle is a policeman as well, and at the same station as them. So one of the guys knew me already and talked a little bit, got compliments for the nice cherry plant I smoked at that time. Had a laugh, and I went my own way. So pretty chill. They were just asking me to at least hold it in my hand, so if anything happens, if I'm in an accident or anything, I don't break my jaw or hurt myself otherwise. Hefferville is in the house. How are you guys doing? I don't know if it's Harry or Hugh. So greetings to both of you. How are you doing, guys? Most of the looks I get are more like, he's a poser. He does it for the looks. He wants to grab attention. How eccentric. Oh my gosh. I get what you're saying. Hey Harriet. Glad you managed to join in. Yeah, can't put words to most of the looks I get. But it's still funny, especially if guys ask you about it. Jimmy Tobacco! Glad you joined. I hope everybody's doing fine. Seven people currently in the live chat, more than I expected. A pipe at the beginning of the week makes everything so much easier. Or a few pipes. In my case, I think the third or fourth bowl. The other day I was smoking my pipe in the street, and a little kiddo asked his mom what I was dressed up for carnival. A great story actor. I can imagine the look on the kid's face and the look from his mother later on. I would have loved to see that. Kids just have the purest reaction that is out there. And he said to him, "No, he's just smoking a pipe." have a pretty graphic mind, so I can just imagine the whole scene right now. And it just makes me happy and laugh inside. Missing Pipe Club tonight, so for joining the live stream would be a nice replacement. Definitely. It's a replacement for most of us, since we don't have any pipe clubs in our area, so I really envy you guys. Especially the meetup from Cherry on Top, Old Pops, Riot Dude, Lester, and everybody else, Old Berg. They seem to have had a pretty good time. Hector was dressed up as a Quaker piper. You definitely did that, brother. Especially the cellar from the guy they visited. Holy mother of God, that cellar was amazing. The amount of Becky, I've never seen anything like that. I wish I could have seen the pipes he had. That would have been the cherry on top. A whole wall and a table in front of it, filled with Becky, rare and old blends and everything else, and that must have been a great time. A nice scotch with a pipe is something I really love. But I think the one I'm drinking right now, can't even talk, will get even better with some Latakia mixture, which I'm gonna load up once I'm finished with this one. I'm currently smoking some Red Trace Old Gowrie, the last remains in my Alpha Freehand from Sean and Corvette Jim. You smoking anything, Harriet? Okay, take care, Jeff, stay warm, or get warm now, and have a great evening. Take care, buddy. Do I know Jeremy Larson here on YouTube? Now Keto Piper. He deleted most of his videos, but you have to watch him if you really want to see a huge seller. No, I don't know him. I'm gonna take a look right after the live stream ends and give him a sub. I want to see that seller. My name is Thomas. Or Tom. I don't really care. Okay, Harriet. How is my new job? Well, funny that you ask. I started working on the 27th and quitted the same day. Too many things happened, let's say it like that. The short story is, the contract wasn't as promised. The work not as promised, and everything else, let's just say it was a mess. And I couldn't stay it. I couldn't stand the work and everything else there. The only good thing were the people. Hey, Arkansas. So now that finally the bowl is finished, losing up the ash. Yes, wasn't the best there. But like I said, the only good thing were the people. They were really nice, really helpful. But not a job for me, especially not with that kind of restrictions. And yeah, on the lookout for something new again. Already wrote a few CVs, sent them out, and I will have to see what happens next. So now that I'm finished with the old Gary, gonna load up some Velour Latakia mixture in my Peterson silver cap, a dedicated Latakia pipe. There's some huge bits and pieces of tobacco just in there. Yeah, that's right, Jimmy. The contract wasn't as promised and everything else, yeah. I want to work, but not if the work ruins me. I'm not gonna stand for that. Sorry, my pleasure, Harriet. It's a pretty old Peterson silver cap, which I won in an eBay auction. And from the hallmarks, I could make out that it's a pipe from '86. So with some nice age on it. The only thing I noticed afterwards is that the stem isn't original. It's actually a Savinelli stem. In the right light you can barely see the Savinelli logo. And the other thing is, the way it is right now, it fits perfectly with the shank, but as soon as I give it a turn, it sits pretty well. The shank is out of balance, or the stem is out of balance. It's a little bit pushed to the side. Nothing major, but it's still one of my best smoking pipes. Oh really, Hector? It smokes fantastic. I really love it. Nice and easy draw. It's actually a 9mm filtered pipe, but I pretty much never use a filter. So got some back in my mouth. Like I said, it smokes really great. The only thing you have to be careful with is the silver ring on top. It gets ridiculously hot, so I've burned my finger once with it. So you have to be careful after the first light to not touch the ring, or if you smoke a little bit. You have to be careful with the ring at the very beginning, but that's the problem with most pipes that have a cap on top. But otherwise, a perfect smoker. And it's a shame to light it with one of my picks, but the other lighter I bought should arrive tomorrow, hopefully. Doc Bravo is in the house. Jimmy Tobacco, hope you are well, my friend. That video posted today made me worried for you. I haven't seen the last video. It's still my watch later list. There are too many videos to watch. It's just... They make a pigs are fine, they make a fire, the fire burns the tobacco, then you can smoke it. That's true. Ooh. Pack some punch. Especially if you have big letters lying around you like crazy. Another one there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other letters on the table. Nice wine rack. Do you like ice wines? I've only ever tried one ice wine, and it was a pretty old bottle as well. I don't remember the name of it. My father got it as a present while he was still working in customs on the border, and all the major importers, etc., often sent out presents or gave out presents to their trusted officials. But I like wine in general, since I live in a wine region, and the Weinviertel in Lower Austria, if you look it up, we have quite a lot of wineries here, and some friends of mine have, or their families have wineries as well, and you're an exception if you don't drink wine here. Let's just say it like this. So from the question, Doc, I guess you like to drink ice wines, or wines in general? Charlie Lame Deer, glad you can join. Dropping to 5 degrees. Holy cow. Gotta stuff the stove before you freeze. Bribes? Well, not really. There were Christmas presents every year. Some sent out good gingerbread. Mariazell gingerbread is to die for. Others sent out just postcards, and I think it even was a parting gift. So we enjoyed it quite a lot. Auslese is legit. I put myself through college working nights at the liquor store. The adventures I had with alcoholics. I know what you mean. I worked behind a bar for 2 months in one of the most visited cafes / bars in the city, and my family have we call it Gasthaus, a bar with, yeah, basically a small village bar where you can also hold celebrations, etc., since they have a nice big area together. I have had my experiences with alcoholics, more than I could wish for. Glad you're doing fine, Jimmy. Hey Bipecramp, Josh, how are you doing? Wow, up to 11 people watching. The things you experience behind the bar. good memories. It gets even better when you're an EMR and you have to take care of these. Man, there were some great stories. I don't know if some of you know already, but I worked as a... I don't know how to call it, at the Red Cross in Austria. I glaube, EMR was the correct nomenclature for it. Emergency Medical Response. With some qualifications from an EMT and so on, so a mishmash. Okay, pipe cramp. I hope your kids are getting well soon. It hurts the most if they're your own kids that get sick. Good night, take care. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna look it up any further. What the difference was between EMR and EMT. I have it a little bit in my head, but we had one guy come in to liquor store, drunk, of course. He thought he was a Jedi from Star Wars. He was eventually tackled by police and hauled out. His mind powers failed that day. They always fail at the wrong time of the day. The force turned out to be the police force. Way too hilarious. There was one time when we had a night shift. Later on I worked most of the night shifts in my early EMT careers or EMR careers. Stopped doing that now, but anyway. And one of my co-workers, he was a big bulky dude with a little bit of fluff going on. And we had a drunk person lying beside the train station, and well, we thought taking emergency measures and bringing him into hospital. Turned out he was still awake, not sleeping like we had thought, and let's call my partner C. When C walked up to him, I was close behind with the bags, and we walked up to him. He looked at us completely flat out, drunk as can be. I think I can't even. Okay, alright, take care. Anyway, C walked up to him, it was completely flat out drunk, and it just looked at him, and he basically said, I think I'm dreaming. A big teddy is walking right in front of me. Big red teddy. We looked at each other and just started laughing. And it went pretty much the whole drive to the hospital. He continued to talk to the teddy. It was kind of sweet, to be honest. Funny and sweet. Luckily he didn't have any major problems. Just a little bit alcohol poisoning. But the way he looked at him gave him a hug and everything. It's just the whole portfolio. that pretty much made our night. We told the story on the comms later on, and our dispo started laughing as well as everybody else that listened to it. There were quite a few funny things. That's just one of many stories. Yeah, glad he made it okay as well. Don't remember how much alcohol in the blood he had, but it was quite a lot. If he would have been drinking absinthe, he would probably have not seen a red bear, but a green bear, wouldn't he? Talking about absinthe, I have a few bottles back there as well. I really like to drink that stuff occasionally. Yeah, it's really yummy. Just let me grab a bottle. Okay. I have here a bottle of absinthe, or Gothic Sint, I should call it. And just let me bring it up a little bit closer to you guys. Absinthe Gothic Sint. And it's probably backwards. 89.9% volume, so 90% volume by alcohol. 500 milliliter bottle. But that stuff is delicious. It's from I think it was a from Czech Republic company that produced it, or still produces it. It's not really expensive, actually. I think it was somewhere around 20 euros for the bottle. But I don't think straight alcohol tastes as delicious as this does. Dobrauer, pew, so bitter. Don't know how you and Hector can like it without massive amount of sugar to dilute it. I actually, when I drink my absinthe, I only put 1 cube of sugar in it. Sometimes I don't use any sugar at all, but it's not really bitter per se. It depends on the absinthe you actually get. When you get an absinthe with more anise in it, or general anise absinthe, they are more bitter. Hey Buckeye, thanks for joining. Yeah, there's the DX Racer chair, the F line. I've had it for quite some time now, a few years. It's really comfortable and actually fits my size perfectly. Moonshine, baby. The only moonshine I've got is some Popcorn Suttons, Triple X, Tennessee White Whiskey, 44% alcohol, which I got from a friend. Not really a fan of it. Pasties? What do you mean with pasties, Hector? Pasties is an anise flavored spirit and aperitif from France. Never tried it. Just looked it up. Never tried it. You absolutely love it. Might give it a try if I see it anywhere. But buying spirits is a little bit on hold, since most of my money goes out for pipes and tobacco right now. Absinthe, at least the original mix, was illegal in the States for quite some time. Yeah, I've read about it. It's not so long ago that they have made it legal again. I had the Van Gogh absinthe with the wormwood particles floating in the bottle. Wow. Sounds pretty nice, Doc Bravo. Hey Mark, I saw your videos earlier. You were smoking a Latakia blend. I think you said you were new to Latakia. What did you think? I smoke nothing but English blends. Let me know. Sorry if it did come over as I'm new to Latakia. I've smoked Latakia from the very beginning, so 4 years now, nearly 4 years. And I really enjoy the Velao Latakia. It has some Syrian Latakia in it as well. And you notice it's smoother than the nightcap. And I think I've talked about it in the other video where I introduced it as well. That smooth I can't even talk. When it comes to smoothness, it's similar to the nightcap with a few years of age on it. So really nice and relaxed smoke. And I really love to smoke Latakia, or English blends in general. Yeah, I've just looked it up. So I'm gonna give it a try once I see it anywhere. No problem. I would love to try that one. Sure, I don't know where you're from, Mark, but I've heard that it's only available in Denmark, Germany, Switzerland, where it comes from, since Velao is a Swiss company, and Austria. Maybe some other European states have it as well, European countries. Or you have to import it. But be prepared, it might come in a plastic bag. I still can't believe that it actually came in this plastic bag. Oh, New York City, okay. You have to look if you can import it from any site. That's the good thing. You can easily buy it online. Cheers, Charlie. Look for the fire. Don't let it go out. And don't burn yourself. Never went to the States, so I can't say anything about it. But I have to say, any other major city outside of Europe that I love, Havana. That city was gorgeous with all the old buildings, etc. It was a pleasure to smoke cigars there. The only drawback was that I didn't smoke any pipe whatsoever in the whole 2 weeks we were there. Forgot them at home. Oh well, I forgot the tobacco at home and couldn't buy any pipe tobacco there. Yeah, it was. When you have all the old Spanish buildings there, Spanish colonial looking buildings. Especially, we went to a bar that has been at the same place for ages, even Hemingway went to the predecessor there. It was really close by to the apartment where Hemingway stayed. Onion! How are you, my friend? Glad you can join. Where was I? Ah yeah, at the bar. And the bar was above the skyline from Old Havana, so the old part of the town. The best mojitos I've ever tried, and I think I've paid 3 to 4 pesos for it, so really cheap and still the best mojitos. Can't complain. Glad you're doing fine, Onion. The best mojitos, and then enjoying a good cigar with it while looking over the skyline and all the buildings and the people walking down there, live music, dancing on the street. I want to go back to Havana. Oh god. I can just say, if you ever get the chance to visit Cuba, do so. You won't regret it. Went back with 75 cigars. 50 cigars is the limit I could take with me. Gave my best friend 25 and he already had 25, so 50-50 for both of us. So we didn't have any problems with the customs. And the people were really nice. That's one of the things I respect the most, when people can be nice to strangers they have never met, that are foreigners. Had my first try at dancing. Didn't go well. You smoking anything, Onion? For those that don't know already, getting ready to head out for the patio. It's already Monday, so 7:30, 3:20 again. Drinking some Johnny Walker Black Label to start the week off the right way. I expected nothing less, Onion. Glad you can enjoy a pipe outside. I would get blown away by the amount of wind that is going on outside right now. Oh really? Yeah, I was smoking the Alpha Freehand, which I won in Sean Panzer's GAW and got sent to me by AustrianPiper. Didn't know it was yours. That makes it even more special. A great smoker, I must say. So now it really holds a special place for me. The first pipe I won in a GLW, in Sean's GLW to begin with, sent to me by AustrianPiper, and originally from the one and only 2 AM pipe on a patio. How many bowls do I smoke a day and how many pipes do I own? Whew. Bowls a day, that depends. But I probably average somewhere around 4, maybe, probably 4 bowls a day. 3 to 4, let's lowball it, 3 to 4 bowls a day. And pipes, let me recount them. Excluding the one that is on the way right now, somewhere around 15 to 16 pipes. I was wondering as well. I thought maybe a special code or something. A cryptic message that only a certain person can read. But yeah, probably somewhere around 3 to 4 bowls. There were days where I smoked more as well if the weather was really nice outside. Loaded one up in the morning and along the day. Good number to have, yeah, indeed. 15 price and 2 cups. I don't have a single cup. And in the 15 pipes I have, there's a pretty big Tyrolean, which I've never really smoked, since I have to replace the corks on it. Yeah, it's a pretty healthy dose. Healthy dose, yeah. But I close to never feel any nicotine. Since I have had nicotine poisoning once, all the blends and cigars are medium to me, so I don't really feel anything. Wow, 20 years. That's some time. That's nearly as old as I am. Owning a pipe 20 years. If I would own it 20 years from now on, 2019, 2039. In 2039 I have it 20 years as well. I'm glad I got it as well. Since I smoke old Joe Krantz, I'm now insensitive to nicotine. 25 pipes for Yardism. That's a healthy number. Yeah, no, I got nicotine poisoning when I smoked a big bowl of tobacco, and I even think it was nightcap. So a big bowl of nightcap in my camperling, which lasts maybe for 1.5 to 2 hours, and 2 cigars right after that. Got me down pretty good. Yeah, especially my camperling. Might as well take it out from the pipe cabinet. And while we're at it, that's the pipe I was just talking about. A nice camping hand made in Austria. It's an Austrian pipe manufacturer. And the pipe is actually from the 70s. And my first pipe I picked up. And I really love it. It just smokes fantastic. So what have I missed? Yeah, I definitely have it for 20 years. Old Joe treats you right. Yeah, no, bowl is pretty deep. Can fit my thumb inside it. So it pretty much goes up to here. Got a little bit ash on me. So the bowl lasts for quite some time. But not as long as this bad boy will last me. A Tyrolean pipe. The fill volume of it is gigantic. Yeah, I can barely touch the bottom with my pointy finger. Yeah, barely can touch the bottom. It's as wide as my camperling and a whole lot deeper. Oh please no! Time for some yodel singing and alphorn playing. No, not gonna happen. And yeah, that's electrician tape. I have still on there to test where there are some leaks in the airways. The corks are shot on it. I've already replaced one of them. And I have to replace the other one as well, but the other one is a little bit more difficult. Yeah, I smoked one of those already once. Not mine, but I've smoked one. It's pretty cool smoke and dry, especially dry smoke, since all the juices collect down here. So you don't have to worry about gurgling. But a bowl this size will probably last around 5 hours. So you have to plan when to smoke that. Quaker starts his yodeling career. I bet your neighbors really appreciate it. Yeah, a true all-day smoker, that's for sure. I should probably do it like one of the German YTBC members. He has a pretty big and hefty pipe and he put it on a leash to hang around his neck. And he just has it sitting there, supported by his neck, so it's not really heavy. Holds it in his mouth and completely relaxes. So I might have to do it with this one as well. Just sitting outside in the summer, with a nice sun, enjoying a drink or two, or maybe 3, and smoke a bowl. Coming back to the question, how many bowls I smoke a day? I only smoke 2 bowls a day. So Quaker loves yodel. Good to know. That's a match made in heaven. The Latakia mixture and a nice smoky whiskey. I guess it depends on how big the bowl sometimes is. I have one bowl at night as well as one cigar most days. Oh, a regular cigar smoker. What's your favorite cigar mug? For me it's my Rocky Patel 20th anniversary actually. At least from the cigars that I can easily buy. A few I've never smoked in the humidor right now, so. Christoph Christine, yeah. Okay. I've heard about the Christoph cigars only because of the Cigar Vixen, since they had one in the monthly subscription service she's part of, and they had a special Christoph Lancero, if I remember correctly, but yeah, probably Lancero for her, that they've never released, but have a big stock on them because the owner of Christoph loves to smoke Lanceros as well, so. But I've never seen any of them here in Austria. Might have to go to the cigar shop in Vienna and see if they have any of them. I've never went to the cigar shop just because it's a real hassle to get there if you're not living in Vienna. A 70 ring gauge sounds pretty damn good. My preferred size is usually a Toro or a Robusto. Those are the sizes I prefer to smoke. But I also like the bigger ring gauges, I must say. I don't really enjoy smoking a small ring gauge. The only exceptions are some cigarillos or mini cigars, for example the Cohiba Mini. I love to smoke them as well, but most of the time bigger cigars. Hoyo Excalibur, okay, nice. Are there a lot of Austrian pipe tobacco shops? Any Austrian pipe tobacco makers? Not as far as I remember. At least no tobacco makers. There are some shops, yeah, they're called Trafik. They sell lottery tickets, cigarettes, cigarillos, if you're lucky some pipe tobacco. But tracking down a shop that has a decent selection of pipe tobacco and cigars is somewhat difficult. For example, the local brick and mortar I went to today, they're running low on quite a few brands that are not really common. They have the Red Trace, Red Force, etc. Not Red Trace, Planter, Red Force and Welcome Riff. The whole selection there, but everything else is meh. I remember when I first started smoking cigars, I only smoked Robustos. The Punch Robusto was my favorite. Then they seem small to me now. Yeah, when I start smoking the bigger cigars, the smaller ones just look cute. There's no other way I can say it. Talking about punch coronations for me when I'm on the go. I really love these things. Do I live in a countryside, or a small town or big town? In between from countryside and a small town. Yeah, small town. So in my town I can't get any real pipe tobacco, which is a problem, but when I drive to my girlfriend, there's a medium-sized town with my local B&M, where I picked up all my tobacco the last few times. And they have a few cigars as well, just a small humidor, but That's at least something. If I want a bigger selection or more cigars, I have to drive to Vienna, which is a bummer, but there's nothing I can do about it. So yeah, it's not so great, but I can make do. Linz, Graz, Vienna and Salzburg. That are pretty much the most interesting cities. Of course I've visited them, all of them as well, but sadly I don't get out of Austria all that much to visit any other major cities around in Europe. Well, I'm off to my local bar for a whiskey or two or three. being enjoying videos. Keep up the good work, nice chatting, fair practice, participating in live chat before. Glad that was your first live stream, Mark. Glad you could join. So, take care. Enjoy your whiskies, as I do. And have a nice time. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Innsbruck. Innsbruck is pretty nice as well. I regret that I didn't went tobacco shopping in the other major cities. The only place I've really went tobacco shopping is in Vienna. Might have found some other things in other cities. Gonna rinse my glass a little bit. Gonna think about pouring another dram for me. And once you start with smoke, you can't go back, so another smoky whiskey it is. And I think for a celebration of the first live stream, and that it goes pretty damn good, might add, I think I'm gonna drink some Lafroig Loa. Okay, Onion, chatting with you was nice as well. Thanks for joining in and thanks for the information about the pipe. I really appreciate it. So take care, brother, and enjoy your pipe. Don't know how long I'm gonna keep the live stream going. As long as some people are interested, I might let it roll. Lafroig Loa, one of my favorite, if not my most favorite whiskey at the moment. A really rich and smoky whiskey. %48 volume. Well, I'm a Lafroig fan, so. John Loveland, what's up? Yeah, it really is delicious. Like I said, it's probably my favorite Scotch at the moment. Closely followed by the Bruichladdich Classic Laddie. And paired with a smoky pipe for Latakia blend, makes for a pretty nice pairing. Slante, my friends. Man, what a good whiskey. Prost, Hector. A nice woodsy aroma, charcoal, smoke. All that peaty goodness that I love to enjoy. I think I'm one of the rare breeds. Started out with Latakia blends, loved it. Before that, started out with smoky whiskey, loved it. Seems like I love smoke. But everybody else, I let taste one of those smoky whiskeys. They're pretty close to jumping through the ceiling. Well, not everybody likes peat. Anyone else drinking something, or am I the only one? Oh wow, we are already going live for 1.5 hours. Didn't expect the live stream to go so long. And is no one else live? Doesn't seem like it. No. No other live streams today. Kind of surprised. Oh, the cocktail. Which one are you drinking? Okay, that was good. 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. Jim is drinking some coffee. Already had enough coffee for today, especially as late in the evening as it is right now. It's 1:40 a.m. here in Austria. I think I've had 5 cups of coffee today. All black and extra strong, I might add. Melange. Nice. Don't know. Melange was the coffee I drank for quite some time early on. I have to say I started drinking coffee when I was 12. Yeah, 12, somewhere around that age. I started drinking coffee. At first off, of course, with a lot of milk and a little bit of coffee, and that ratio gradually changed over time to just black now, since a few years. Yeah, really early, but like I said, around 9/10 milk with 1 part coffee in it. So basically you take the milk, put the coffee bean on a string and pull it through the milk. That's the way I started. Yeah, I don't use any sugar as well. 7:42 EST. Okay, not so bad. I think it was last week where I drank a little bit too much coffee, and it was Cuban coffee, so a stronger blend as well. I've just gotten my French press, and of course I had to try it out. Ground the coffee beans, put them inside, and I went with the recommended measure they put on the box or on the pamphlet. Had the French press with a whole lot of coffee in it, filled it up right to the mark, put it out, and yeah, drank a liter of black Cuban coffee. Whew, that got me fired up. Didn't need any coffee after that. Wouldn't sleep for a week. Luckily it wasn't that bad. The coffee from my mocha pot, so a stove coffee, that one is a little bit stronger. Jimmy is addicted to Starbucks. Yeah, Starbucks I often get when I'm on the go or in a shopping mall, but otherwise not really, since we don't have a Starbucks out here, only in Vienna and probably everywhere else except here. But I can't function without my coffee in the morning. That's a must. Mocha pot I generally don't enjoy unless I want something very strong or a caffeine fix. Yeah, prefer Chemex pour over French press. Yeah, like I said, I've just gotten a French press, so I'm just starting to dabble into all of that. We only had the basic espresso machine, which my parents use. And when I came back from Cuba, where of course a true Cuban coffee was made in a mocha pot, I started to love it and wanted to do it at home as well. So the first thing I did once I was back, except putting my cigars in the humidor, was buying a mocha pot and some Cuban coffee. And I started brewing like crazy. So 1 or 2 cups a day. And I have the mocha pot for 6 cups. Well, mocha pot cups are just little espressos. If I don't have my coffee, I get absolutely terrible headaches. Luckily I don't get headaches, but I just feel like there's something missing from the morning. It could have been better, let's put it that way. Here is the most typical way of making coffee, even more than filtered. Every home has at least a mocha pot. That's not the case here anymore. It was for quite a long time. But that kind of making coffee vanished once the first filtered coffees got really cheap and the espresso machines got cheap. It's just the convenience of those machines that outweigh the mocha pot. Sadly, like I said, I enjoy mocha pot more, but even for me, I think the French press is easier and faster. Since on our electric oven, it takes quite a while for the mocha pot to get actually hot and produce coffee. So it's quicker with the French press, just have to wait 4 minutes. So there's that. I would love to see it being more used actually. What is a mocha pot? A mocha pot is basically, I don't really know how to describe it. At the bottom you have a water tank where you put an insert with the freshly grounded tobacco. Freshly grounded tobacco, of course. No, freshly grounded coffee. Then you twist on the top piece, and once the heat rises, the water in the bottom starts to evaporate and push through the coffee into the top part where it condenses and basically becomes coffee, or coffee to drink, I should say. It comes out really strong with a full body, and if you're not careful, it might kick your ass. But there's a little bit of an art to a mocha pot. You have to grind the beans right and don't let it burn. That's the most important part, otherwise it smells burnt. It tastes burnt. Just another way of making coffee, and it's all down to preferences. Some prefer lighter, some prefer a stronger. I let the lid open, but put the stove medium high. And once it starts rising, I lower it down to low. I do it the same way. I even tried using hot water. So the tobacco, why do I always want to say tobacco? The coffee doesn't get too hot before the water starts to evaporate. So I've tried putting in hot water at the bottom, put it on the stove, just medium, then turn it down to low, medium, low. It was a little bit quicker and still tasted really good. So the only drawback is the water container gets really hot when you put in hot water from your water cooker or from a kettle, and it makes it a little bit more difficult to screw on the top. But otherwise, if you use a towel or something to hold the bottom part down, it's a pretty good way to make mocha pot coffee a little bit faster. Even though the manuals and many others recommend using cold water, but yeah, exact same reason for me, Hector. So this pipe is finished as well. Yeah, over extraction is really bad. It gets really bitter really fast. So most of the time, once I see that there's just foam coming out, I take it off the stove really quick and hold the bottom part under cold water to cool it down faster, which helps a little bit. And then I pour it out in a cup, a nice big cup, and enjoy it. Yeah. Put the tap on cold and just put it under it. Works perfectly. I think I'm gonna end the live stream soon or now. Already live for nearly 3 hours. Thank you guys for staying with me all the time. Thank you, Hector, for the great conversations. I really love talking to you and everybody else, Jimmy as well. Thanks for dropping in. I wish you guys a great week ahead of you. And maybe I will do another live, don't know. It will probably be a spontaneous actions. Dir auch einen schönen Abend, Hector. Take care everybody, happy smoking, and see you later in another video. Bye.